Monsieur Andre Noir. Monsieur Andre Noir is the host of the party and the victim of the murder committed by one of his guests. Andre is a successful fashion designer and hosts a lavish Halloween party every year to celebrate his fashion label, Noir Fashion, and display some of his couture designs. In addition to his fashion brand, Andre had plans to start a high-end French wine business, and was in the process of finalizing all the details on supply sourcing. In the midst of trying to start a new business and creating fresh designs for his fashion brand, Andre had made some enemies. Andre wanted to ensure that nothing would disturb his big Halloween party where he would be making the announcement of his new business venture. Andre had another announcement too, one that would surely be met with a less than celebratory manner. Being one for drama, he decided to host a more intimate costume party with a very selected guest list the night before Halloween. Christian Noir. Christian Noir is the older brother of Monsieur Andre Noir and CFO of Noir Fashion. Christian has been with Noir Fashion from the beginning and solely manages the finances. Christian benefited enormously from the success of Noir Fashion and often took more than his fair share of the profits, unbeknownst to Andre. Christian was also taking the lead on the new wine business, and it had been his idea to seek out a vineyard in the much less expensive region of upstate New York, and sell the result as top-shelf French wine. Christian feared that he may have given too much away to Andre about the business, or rather too much about his personal business, and felt rather uneasy about the announcement his brother was to make tonight. Christian dressed in a pirate's costume with a recently sharpened blade to stick into his makeshift belt. Natalia Bosch. Natalia Bosch is a Russian model who was discovered by Monsieur Andre Noir early in her career, and he made her the face of Noir Fashion when it first launched 6 years earlier. Natalia had a romantic relationship with Andre, but it was abruptly ended by Andre himself, as was her modeling contract with Noir Fashion. Natalia was less than pleased to find out that not only had her lover abandoned her, but he had also taken away her career. Natalia was so well known as the face of Noir Fashion, and with her increasing age, she knew it would be almost impossible to get another modeling contract. When Natalia got her invitation, she wondered if Andre had a change of heart. Andre himself had said there would be a big announcement, but she was wary and decided to come dressed as a sly black cat, including razor-sharp 4-inch pointed nails, just in case. Lady Marie Derium. Lady Marie Derium is a wealthy older woman who was one of the initial investors in Noir Fashion, and she made a considerable amount of money from the success of the brand. Lady Marie is a flashy and extravagant woman who likes to show her wealth through ostentatious means. Given Lady Marie's lifestyle, the profits gained from Noir Fashion quickly dwindled, as had her late husband's fortune. Lady Marie was increasingly desperate to find new sources of income and jumped at the chance to invest with Monsieur Andre Noir again, as he started his new wine business. Lady Marie wagered everything she could spare on Andre's new venture and was chomping at the bit to see a return. Lady Marie voiced her displeasure at how long the development stage was taking and began to ask questions about the vineyard that was, supposedly, in France. She was even more displeased with the answers and decided to accept her invitation to further press Andre to make sure her money was protected. In her true style, she came dressed in a 1920s sequined and beaded gown, complete with a long string of pearls around her neck. Jackson Walters. Jackson Walters is the husband of Clara Walters and had not been invited to the party. Jackson had seen the invitation from Monsieur Andre Noir come in the mail before his wife did and decided that he would go in her place. Clara loved Noir Fashion and bought as much of it as she could afford, so she was delighted when she met Andre at one of his fashion shows and became enamored with him immediately. Jackson had heard the reputation of Andre, who recently dumped his model girlfriend and was suspicious of his wife's newfound friend. Jackson was a rugged man and had a penchant for whiskey. He decided he would surprise Andre at his party and, with some liquid courage, confront him about the relationship with his wife. Jackson found some rock climbing ropes and a parka to make himself look even bigger and came to the party as a mountaineer. Wade Tiff. Wade Tiff is the vineyard owner Christian Noir had found to supply the new wine business. Wade was made aware of the scheme to upsell wine made at his vineyard, but was all too willing, after he saw what his cut of the profits would be from the sales. Wade made fast friends with Christian, however his relationship with Monsieur Andre Noir was far less amicable. Wade himself had not been too forthcoming about the state of his vineyard, and found Andre to be a bit more knowledgeable about wine than Wade had anticipated. Wade and Andre often got into fantastic arguments, and Wade was beginning to worry that Andre would pull out of the deal altogether, or at least cut Wade out. Andre had said that he would make an announcement at the party, and Wade was sure he was going to be left out in the cold. It was then that he saw his revolver and an old rope that he decided he would come to the party as a cowboy. Josephine Bernard. Josephine Bernard was just hired by Monsieur Andre Noir as the lead new model for Noir fashion. Josephine is replacing Natalia Bosch, who has been with Andre from the brand launch. Josephine is young and arrived from France, where she grew up, only 1 month before taking the job at Noir Fashion. Josephine had developed a very close relationship with Andre, and was particularly excited for the announcement that Andre was to make at the party. Josephine had some reservations, however, as the conversation the day before the party that she had with Andre left her a bit anxious that Andre's mind may be changing. She decided to come to the party early to ensure that this was not the case, as a change in plans was not an option for Josephine. Josephine found Andre's tailcoat in her apartment and came to the party as a circus ringleader, complete with a long-roped whip. Izzy Forte. Izzy Forte is a fellow fashion designer and has her own fashion brand, although it has not yet seen the kind of success that Noir Fashion has experienced. Izzy was not surprised to receive her invitation and naturally accepted. However, Izzy and Andre had quite recently reconciled their relationship, and it was still a little tense. Before Noir Fashion had officially launched, Izzy showed Andre her designs as possible suggestions for his new brand. Andre had criticized her designs and told her that they would never be considered high fashion or sellable. Izzy scrapped her designs on the advice of her friend, so she was quite surprised when she saw them stitch for stitch in the Noir Fashion debut collection. Izzy cut off all communication with Andre and worked hard to build her own brand, vowing revenge. Years later, Andre reached out to offer Izzy a job at Noir Fashion, as he was working on his new wine business and needed help. At first Izzy was appalled by the offer, but then quickly realized that working at a successful brand and being a head designer would be very beneficial to her career, especially with Andre out of the way. Izzy, who liked to design elaborate fashion, but not wear it herself, grabbed her tape measure and sharpest shears and came to the party dressed as herself, a fashion designer.